Hi there, this is Steve and a very warm welcome to my studio based here in the Cotswolds in the UK. I'm a contemporary landscape painter, and plein air painting, which is a fancy term for outdoor painting, borrowed from the French as they have lent many terms to fine art. It basically means going out into the landscape and experiencing a live environment. Gone are the comforts and the control of the studio, and instead you're throwing caution literally into the wind sometimes. It's that abandonment of control that really excites me about plein air painting, and it's what I base my entire professional practice around. When I'm going out into the landscape, there's a definite transformational element to that process. You go from being in the controlled environment of the studio to a wild environment where you feel the wind, the sun, the rain. You get to sense all of those changes in the atmosphere and in the weather, and those have an impact on your state of mind and also the way that you work. You're forced to work quickly and to capture the essence of a scene before it changes. You don't have time to consider all the different elements of painting and to ponder. You just have to get on with it, and it's that immediacy and that directness that really does draw me into plein air painting. The act of painting itself is one of focus, is one of observation, and this is heightened by the fact that you're out in the landscape and everything is always changing, it's continually changing. When I'm out in the landscape, I pay very close attention to my breathing and to what's around me. I try to slow everything down and pay attention to the present moment. There's something about that live environment that allows me to slow down and to achieve somewhat of a flow state when I'm working. When I'm out in the landscape, I'm trying to remove as many conscious thoughts as possible and abandoning as many technical aspects and considerations of painting as I possibly can. That seems counterproductive and counterintuitive, but is actually the opposite of that. I believe there's two modes of thinking about artwork. One is practice and training, where you look and hone in on technical aspects, and the second is the actual doing, the art part of art. And that second part is where I believe it's important to put those technical considerations to one side and to access something more of an intuitive state of mind. One in which you are having a dialogue with what you're seeing and you're responding in a way which, when it's at its best, there is no disconnect between your thought process and what you're actually putting down onto the panel, onto the canvas. Now, before I sound too much like a hippie or too new age, just trust me that that state does exist, and that's the place I'm trying to get to all the time with plein air painting. I find that when my work is at its best, I'm able to get into that flow state, into that intuitive open state where there is a seamless transition between myself and the work. Going out into the landscape allows me to reach that place. My intention when painting in the landscape is not to create a faithful representation of what I see in front of me, but instead convey something of the emotive connection that I feel to that particular place. The way that I translate that emotive connection into paint is through thick impasto, luscious passages of oil paint. I'm not trying to replicate what I see in the colour palette. Instead, I'm looking to create colour mixes that form some sort of representation to what I'm seeing. They have a link, but they're not the same. Those two elements are central to the success of the work, and I absolutely love being out there, being able to experience the sun, the wind and the rain, and to get a sense of place and atmosphere. Working from studies or photos just isn't the same. You can't convey that emotion, you can't convey that connection in the work, and so being there in the landscape is absolutely vital to making my paintings. Those are the main reasons why plein air painting is so important to me, and why I'm absolutely addicted to the process of going out into the landscape. If you've got any questions or would like to try plein air, I would absolutely recommend it. Please leave your comments and any queries you have about that subject in the comments below. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to this video. Stay tuned for more video content dropping very soon. Thank you very much for watching.